So creating that compelling, welcoming space that focuses clearly on hospitality gives us an opportunity to be hospitable. I know some people have that gift, and those people ought to be put in the forefront. Other people, they have no comprehension about how to be hospitable. Go hide them in the back 40. But place the people that have that gift in the forefront and allow them to flourish. Designing to the senses. Was it last night we were having dinner, you guys, and somebody said one of the major criteria of church decision-making was the smell of the church when people walk in? Was that Barna that you were quoting? What was it? Kids ministry. Oh, kids ministry. Walking into the kids ministry, if you're met with a really bad odor, not a good thing. Parents are out of there. Really important. I personally think that a lot of our older churches smell like old men. They have terrible ventilation systems. Stale. It's like they've been in there smoking cigars or something. What have you been doing in this church? These are smells from the 1940s. Nothing's changed here. You know? We don't need to have our buildings be that unattractional. We can solve these problems with good ventilation. Think about all the senses. What are we seeing? Is this space that people want to be in? You know, 20 years ago, if you would have said, our churches of the future are going to have bare concrete floors and open steel structure, what would we have thought? I don't think so. But now it's almost an expectation, but it's got to be done right. And it's got to be in context of things like color. There has to be color in buildings. Color is important. The kinds of materials that we bring from the outside to the inside, that stone that's on the outside. That stone, by the way, is unique to Texas. It doesn't work in Utah. People would be thinking, what is this white stuff that's all over the walls here? It's got to be it's got to have a relationship to the local vernacular. But thinking about those five senses is very, very important. Thinking about natural light. People love natural light. I've never met somebody that said, I prefer a absolutely black, pitch black room to a room that has good lighting. I mean, there are times when you're trying to sleep, I get that, but for the most part, people enjoy natural light, particularly when they come out of a worship experience like this, that there's a limited amount of natural light, which is because of technology that's used. And they want to go to a space where there is good natural light. It doesn't make them look ghastly in fluorescent lighting or bad lighting, too bright white of lighting. It plays a major role into the atmosphere of the space. So bringing those kinds of things in, bringing softer forms in that don't cost that much money in terms of the ceiling features or whether the floor patterns are echoing some of the things that are going on, breaking up the mass of the space with floor patterns can be very, very important to a space. I think more than anything is this notion of, I'm not sure what organic community really means. When the guys that were helping me put this presentation together, they were very clear what it meant to them. But I think what organic community means is that things are going to come together relationally in a very natural way, that it's not going to be forced, that this is going to be good space where people can come into and these relationships can be created in that kind of a situation. Blurring the line between outdoor and indoor spaces, taking advantage in the climates that allow us to do that, Dallas being one of them. I know that things get hot here in the summertime, but there's some crossover seasons where it can be delightful here if it's not raining and tornadoes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, 2 weeks? You get 2 weeks? Oh, okay, so 2 weeks. Yeah, that's what they say in Florida. I made the mistake of going to Florida 13 years ago and saying, boy, you guys just live in paradise down here. We're just going to open this up. And they're like looking at each other like, he doesn't know. He has no fathomable idea what humidity really means here. And that's true, of course, here as well. You've got to be careful about those kind of things. But blurring that line in the times that it does make sense to allow people to go out and use those spaces.